Like, why isn't he picking you up? And girl, come to find out, they knew each other. Girl, can you say deja vu? I have been here. Good morning, my friends. Happy Friday. We made it. We made it. We made it. For those who are new, welcome. My name is T, and welcome to Life Unimagined. Here on this channel, we will talk about everything. This channel, you'll see all things natural hair, which right now I have these little twists in, praying for a bomb twist out this weekend. But you'll see home decor, declutter. You'll see our multi-poo Layla, who you probably hear in the background. She's making all kind of noise when I'm on the camera. We just redecorated our home, so we just got our walls painted. So I will take you along on shopping sprees at Home Goods, at home, Hobby Lobby, all the stores, girl. This channel is fairly new, so I have not completely niched down, but it will be lifestyle over 50. I turned 50 in November of last year. I'll be 51 this year, 2025. I can't believe that, but I feel every bit of 25. I will show some of my workout tips at home when I don't go to the gym. I love to cook, so you'll see some recipes here. My husband may join for some deep dive kind of conversations, our engagement at a later age in life. You'll see everything. You'll see everything here. But today, y'all, I wanted to jump on and film this. I was going to go live, but I wanted to be able to edit and just speak freely here because this is a topic that I hear of a lot of young ladies. I am a mentor. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I love to mentor young ladies. You know, I'm coming out of the high school years, going into college, or college transitioning to official womanhood. Well, with all that said, I have a little bit of a story and something I can relate to because this happened to me. I promise you. It's like, wow, we're reliving this. Hold on one second, y'all. And one other thing that you'll know here, I don't script videos. So what I'm saying is just right on the heart, straight from the rip, okay? If I need to go back and do some editings where I'm getting tongue-tied, which there's a lot of bloopers on that, that's what you'll see. Okay, so this situation happened with a friend's daughter. She's in her upper 20s. Keep in mind, I'm 50. So she was really falling for a guy. We'll just say a guy, okay? And she's been seeing him. She was a little smitten by him. Very charming, I would say, just how she described him. I never met him. A little bit older than her, so I would give him early 30s, okay? They had been talking on the phone. They met at a gym. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry I had to deal with Layla. Okay, back to the story time, okay? So they met at the gym. So they see each other. She's looking forward to seeing him. They've talked on the phone numerous times, several times at night, even on the weekend. So it's no kind of one-offs or anything, any red flags at this point, right? And she's like, okay, he hasn't really asked me out. Like, you know how some men will try to get to your place. I counsel my young ladies, don't allow that. You are worthy of a date and they should be taking you out, especially on a first date. That's just bottom line. Y'all, I have so much advice to give to these young ladies. So much, okay? But anyway, so he finally did ask her out. And y'all, the rest, it's a mess for her. They were supposed to go out, right? They had it all planned. She was so excited. Same as me. Same as me, y'all. Same as me. In her mind, it's humiliating of what happened next, but it's pretty much the exact thing I went through, which was so bizarre. It's bizarre to hear the story. Let me start by saying, okay, there are always signs. They never did go on a date. They never went on a date, honey, because you can only imagine there was certain things that came up. She's a very upstanding young lady, very together. She's not one of these that has ever had a reputation. She's a good girl, you know, what we would categorize as the good girl. Well, y'all, this character, which is so similar to my story, I'm just stripping off of it, okay? Because I'm going to share my story too. And it's slightly different, but y'all, I've been there. And there were signs I probably should have picked up on. But y'all, this guy asked her out and everything, okay? She's excited. She's getting dressed, trying to decide what she's going to wear. They're going to a Mexican restaurant, which is really popular here. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of like a I've never heard too much of a high-end Mexican restaurant, but this one is. So I know of it. It's really nice. So cool. So it's a Saturday date. So she is really excited, right? She's excited. She's dressed. They're supposed to meet at 7 o'clock. Sorry, I had to stop this camera to deal with this one. Y'all's little niece over here, Layla. All right. So anyway, she's excited. I think that's where I left off because I didn't have time to go back and look at the footage. Flag number 1. She is meeting him at this restaurant. Like, why isn't he picking you up? You know, he's really interested in you. He talks about how classy of a young lady you are. I'm like, why isn't he picking you up? Okay. So she's about to leave to meet him, okay, at this restaurant, y'all. Woo, this just hits so hard. I can remember this. Even though I am married, y'all, that stuff, it'll make you so mad. And it makes you like, are you serious? Okay, let me go. Let me go on. This gets really good. So 5 minutes before she's grabbing her keys to step out the door, her phone rings. Okay? Her phone rings 5 minutes before she's leaving. She's looking at her phone and it's the guy calling. So she's thinking maybe he's running behind or, you know, something's up, or, you know, just say, come in, I'm sitting here or whatever. Girl, she answers the phone and was like, hey, girl, how about it was his wife? Y'all, I've been there in her exact place, had no clue, no clue. She was crying her eyes out when she's telling me this. And I'm like, oh no, something told me, you know, she was trying to get it out. And I'm like, what could it be? Does he have a girlfriend? Was he in an accident? You know, what tore you up really? Y'all, it was a wife. The same thing. I'm like, wow, this is deja vu. So the wife calls her and it's like, who is this? That's on my husband's phone. This number is appearing all these times on my husband's phone. And she said who it was. She's like, your husband? She's just shocked. Of course, she's in complete shock, y'all. I mean, she didn't know what to say. She was just in awe, silence, crickets. So she was like, who is this? You know, you're asking me who this is. Who's calling the phone? Why are you answering so-and-so's phone? This man she's about to meet, y'all. Okay? So she says, I am so-and-so's wife. Devastation. I could feel it. I could feel it. The more and more she thought back on that, she was like, wife, I've been talking to this man all this time. He scheduled this dinner, whatever it is. Like he is a single man, y'all. Like he is a single man. Single. She asked him specifically on those multiple conversations that they've had, have you ever been married? Do you have any children? His answer, no. Girl, how about he has 2 kids? At that one time, the baby was a newborn. The baby was like a little over a month old. So the wife is telling her all this stuff. Not mad or anything from what I understand. Not mad at all. But just almost like she's used to it. So she told my friend's daughter, my little sweetheart, she told her, well, you're just one of many. Number one, my question would be, girl, I guess you're with them because of those kids, okay? But she was like, what? She was taken aback. It was a mess. And I could feel her pain because I've been there, y'all. I've been there. So she's like, wait a minute. I asked him. She's talking to the wife. I asked him if he had kids, if he was married, if he's ever been married. He told me no. So they're kicking back now, just having this conversation. She was like, well, just to let you know, so-and-so will not be wherever he's supposed to be with you. He's sitting right here on the couch. Girl, can you say deja vu? I have been here. Not saying a word. Wifey is talking to my girl. So she's like, oh my God, well, I am dressed and I was heading out. Oh, you were you? This is the wife. She said, on my son's birthday. I kid you not. It was their baby's first birthday, y'all. They were having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Instead, he decided he wanted to meet my friend's daughter for lunch at this Mexican spot. over his 1-year-old's birthday. She told the wife all this. The wife didn't seem surprised. And girl, come to find out, they knew each other. She said that when she saw him in that gym, that she always looks at ring fingers, that kind of thing. He's always in there alone, working out, not talking to anybody. So the more she thought back and heard the wife's name, y'all, she knew the wife and the wife knew her. They knew each other from college. But she never put together that he was with her. She would see her, right? She would see her out. But when she did see her in college, she was single. But she has never seen them together as police officers outside. She's never seen them together in the gym or as an item. So she didn't put 2 and 2 together. Y'all, that was the wife that she knew she went to school with. Can you imagine that devastation? Or that shock? Because she really liked this guy. He's very handsome. He seems very intelligent. He had a great job. Honey, he done gave her a business card at the gym, everything. So she knew exactly where he worked. So she dropped those nuggets with the wife. Oh yeah, he calls me from work. He works here, here, here. We talk at work. That's something I would have done. But she played it so cool. And what was so strange about it, they were on the phone, pretty much my goddaughter and the wife were on the phone for like an hour and a half. And I was like, talking about what? I mean, he's sitting right there on the couch, y'all. He's sitting right there on the couch. She said that. I said, oh, he didn't get on and say anything? So they're sitting there dogging him out pretty much. And he's right there on the couch, denying what my girl had said. Where were you going then? Well, the wife said he was running to the store. Now tell me, on your son's birthday, you were going to the store close to the time of the birthday party. So he's dressed because the wife is probably thinking, well, he's going to go to the store. How long is this date supposed to be then? But you're going to the store and you're going to meet her at Chuck E. Cheese. This is what the wife's thinking. But look at that. While he was in the shower, that phone kept going off. But what was funny about it, it wasn't my girl calling him. It was the other women. They had this conversation. There were so many women, honey. I mean, she let it out, the wife, and was very cool. But what was so disturbing, and this is similar to mine, okay, years ago when I was single, when they finally said each other's names, they knew each other that way. She was like, did you go to such and such university? They did. She's like, girl, this is so-and-so. The wife saying this. A mess. She said when she reflects back and thinks back at the gym, she said there was no tan line. Look, I can see a line on my finger when I take it off, right? I'm looking at this camera, y'all. But she said she didn't see a tan line. She was looking. But I said, does he wear those workout gloves? He's lifting weights in the gym. Has that been removed? Did you actually see the left hand? But she checks those things. We've always taught that. My mentees, honey, I let them know. Like, some of these men out here, honest to God, they're trifling. Some of them are. And there's trifling women as well, but I am looking out for my girls, okay? She said there was no sign of it. He was in the gym like clockwork. No sign. She never heard a woman in the background. She never heard the kids. But the more she reflects on it, she talked to him the most of the time when he was at work. He was at work. And then he would come to the gym, and that's around the time she would see him. But talking on the phone, she also, when she really thought back, y'all never talked on the phone past like 8 o'clock. She was a stay-at-home mom with the kids right now anyway. So I'm like, I guess she just trusted him in the streets. But anyway, with all that said, they're talking and talking and talking, y'all, right about this man when he's sitting right here. He is just saying that's not true. He met her. He told her, my girl, that he was married and all this stuff. It's a lie. So she had to go back to the text. And she had to supply the wife with the text. It hurt her, but it's a lesson learned. Y'all, all I know is she said after this instance, and they squashed it. She's like, I would never call him again. He told me he wasn't married. The wife believed her because there's other women. And she said the beauty of this conversation with my girl, because she's class act. She really is. And she felt bad for the wife Even though the wife was just like, oh, well, another one, The wife said that, you know what, you're the first one that came to me respectfully. The others have called me out of my name, talking about F me, don't ever call my house again, this and that. But she's like, it's not the woman. It's not her. It's the husband. It's him. We as women get so upset with other women, and it's not even the woman's fault. It's the man's. With that said, she has not seen him no more in that gym. She told me it's been like 2 weeks. They haven't seen each other. Yeah, he changed gyms. Let the wife tell it. He wouldn't get on the phone and say anything. Y'all, it was horrible. Her little heart was broken just a little bit, but you know what? It could be worse. He's not your husband. That's what I told her. It could have been 10 times worse. You haven't been intimate, thank God, because that was a question that came up with the wife. Because the others he probably has. Who knows? But she had not. So, there's no loss there. Ever ties, goodbye, don't ever call me again. And she let the wife know that since he didn't say a word to her while he's sitting on that couch. Y'all, so similar to my situation. Horrible. But what I would say, even though she asked all the right questions and all, there's always flags. There's always clues. I'm not going to say flags. There's always clues. After my incident similar to that girl, and I knew the wife too, my situation, it was weird. The wife all of a sudden now feels like she can confide in her. So after that confrontation, I would use that word lightly, for an hour and a half, 2 hours, they were on the phone. She decided to call her back the next day because she had her number. Almost like she's trying to befriend her to find out more stuff. Girl, tell me why you're still with this character, because he has no respect for you, nor does he have respect for his children. That's a problem, y'all. I had to share this in hopes that it would help another young lady out here. Young ladies, more mature ladies, we've all been, lied to, deceived. It's horrible. I feel for her, but she's a strong one. And you know what? It's really not a loss for her. He doesn't go to the gym anymore. He's afraid to. He's afraid of confrontation because she will do that. Okay? And I would too. So you need to go far away. With all that said, she let the wife know, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not an issue. I had no clue. And I am sorry for breaking up a happy home. The wife said, this home has not been happy for years. I'm praying for that for her. I'm praying for that family. I'm sure they're still together. I'm sure they're going to probably work it out for the kids' sake. They're young, y'all. But this is sad. I hope you get something out of this, y'all. Just always be on alert. Look at that finger. I'm not saying doing drive-bys, follow them around. But you know what, y'all? Never doubt your intuition. She said, looking back at this, she had something wasn't sitting right with her. And this was probably it. And God revealed it. Whew, thank you, Jesus. I'm married into a great man. I am blessed. Okay. Y'all, I had to tell you this really quick, this story. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future uploads such as this. I may do story times on lives. I have been starting to do lives that a lot of people have said they enjoyed. So let me know. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.